What is going on, guys? It's your boy Goofy, and today we are bringing you guys another crypto video. Today we are going to be talking about Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, and the whole crypto market. Bitcoin is crashing a little bit from 123K to 112,000. All right, let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's look at the charts, the technicals, and like what's really happening. So let's go ahead and look at the most important level right now for Bitcoin is to hold this. Let's see. The most important level for Bitcoin to hold right now is this 112,000, which we currently wicked exactly to. And we are seeing a strong reaction currently, but we actually could go lower because if we look at the EMAs here, we are on the 4 hour chart, we are below all the EMAs. If we look at the daily, we are currently trying to hold the 50 EMA. And you can see before we wicked below, and the 200 EMA is sitting at 100,000, which is strong support in this general area. So maybe if we don't hold 112, we could see a reaction down to 104 or even 100,000. Uh, but if we look at the weekly EMA chart, you can see that Bitcoin respects the weekly EMAs heavily. Okay. Every time we hit the 50 EMA on this is the red, you see this red line. Every time Bitcoin hits the 50 EMA, we see a huge bounce. This was here at 50,000. This was last year, 2024, 50,000. We bounced up to 100K, and then we went down. Everyone thought it was the end all be all when we were at 78,000, 74,000 in April, just a few months ago, and we seen a nice reaction and it bounced up, and now we went up to 124K, and it's going down. Everyone's freaking out, but literally we're still bouncing on the EMAs. Like nothing has really changed. You should only get worried when Bitcoin breaks below this EMA, which is way below at 60,000. But when we do that, it's pretty much bear market time. But I also just want to point out that every time Bitcoin does lose the weekly EMA, which we have not done, usually we see a bounce on the 50, like I said, and that 50 EMA is sitting at 91,000. So I think we will see a bounce at 91,000. And then if we don't, we could go down to 50,000, which would be crazy. But I think that's bear market times. I don't think we're there anytime soon. Like I said, we're still bouncing on these EMAs. You can see we bounced. This was we went for more support because we couldn't hold these levels, but we are still on the first attempt on trying to hold this EMA. We could easily see a bounce here, but it is August. I do want to tell you guys that. And on the weekly, we struggled getting overbought, and we could easily go back down to the 50, which would, yeah, it would bring it down to maybe 105K. That's me being honest, because yeah, there's a little, is there a bearish divergence? We had a high here, a high here. Yeah, there is bearish divergence in the RSI, because you can see that the RSI was super oversold here, and then the price went higher even though the RSI didn't get higher. So that is something to watch out for. What I was hoping for on the RSI for Bitcoin was to break above so we can actually, get rid of that bearish divergence on the RSI. But yeah, that's something to watch out for. Right now, I am in a long. I got the long. I'm up 50%. I did 100x. I did 100x long on Bitcoin. I also got a long on Doge. I'm up 18%. But I have my stop losses in green, tight stop losses. So yeah, I really want to see, hopefully, Bitcoin hold this 112,000 level. And as you can see, the weekly 90 EMA is a little bit below. We Bitcoin did not wick below or touch the EMA, so maybe we could go lower to 111, freak everyone out, and then bounce, or we could go lower to 104. But yeah, no one knows until it happens. So just the art of TA is just being prepared of what's happening. We trade each level as it goes. Sorry, my dog is barking. All right, and let's go ahead and talk about Dogecoin. Dogecoin was up at 28. Let's go ahead and remove everything. This. So if you look at the Dogecoin chart, this is the all-time chart. Previously was at 72 cents. Earlier last year, we were at 48 cents. And just recently, last week, we were at 28 cents, but we have just completely gone down. Um, and what's special about Doge right now, if you go from this low at 14 cents to the high, you can see that Dogecoin bounced exactly on the golden fib. I love the golden fib because this is a time for the bulls to bounce. And you can see that is why I entered my long, because we bounced perfectly in the golden fib. Um, yeah, we had a nice bounce and a nice good reaction. We could go lower to the 18 to potentially fill the Fibonacci, but so far we bounced right on the 0.618 fib. I also want to look at a Fibonacci on Bitcoin. If we drag from the bottom to the top, you can see that also we have the 236 fib at 111,000, which I'm pretty sure that is, yeah, that's right at the weekly 9 EMA. So we could see a nice bounce here at 111,000. Just keep that in mind. If not, then you can, like I said, this golden fib here is at 104, which is exactly at the EMA as well. So keep that in mind. But yeah, Dogecoin on the 4 hour chart just completely rejecting off the EMAs, and we even lost the 200 EMA. I thought we did see like a little bounce here a few days ago, but then we just fell right back down, just completely getting obliterated. But yeah, just going straight down. But like I said, we are bouncing on the fib, which is a good sign because previously this was a strong zone as well. Um, on the daily, it's not looking too nice. We are below the 200 EMA, the 9 EMA. It's not looking good. If we look at the weekly, on the weekly, there is still some hope if we hold the golden zone. If not, it could go back down to 14 cents, which is exactly where we bounced off last time on the 200 EMA on the weekly. So, yeah. But all that really depends on Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance just completely went back up. You can see here a lot of alts started pumping once we were in this golden zone and we started rejecting. But the minute that it bounced in this golden zone, boom, alts got destroyed. And yeah, now Bitcoin dominance has just made another new high and it's continued to go up. But if we look at the EMAs, we're coming up on the 200 EMA. Hopefully it gets rejected and we can see a rejection back into the alts. So that would be huge. Keep watching now on the 4 hour chart. And also look at this, guys. On the weekly Bitcoin dominance chart, it bounced exactly on the 50 EMA, like to the exact dollar. It closed right here and it bounced. So now we're just in this tight range. Last time we did that exact same thing pretty much right here, November, when we seen a mini alt season. So we really want to see a break of this to go back down to that 200 EMA to see some nice gains inside the alts. Let's go ahead and talk about Ethereum. Ethereum was doing so well, but as you know, 4,000 is a strong resistance for Ethereum. If you look, it's 4 years. It can never break above 4,000. It rejected once, rejected twice, about 4 times it rejected, and we almost broke the trend line. But of course, the market makers are watching and complete sell off. Um, yeah, and if we look at the EMAs, it's below the 9 EMA, the 20 EMA, and now it's going towards a 55, which is at around 3,000. I think 3,000 is a strong support level, but it could go even lower to 25. Yeah, it can get real ugly if Bitcoin doesn't hold here. And if we look at the weekly, there's absolutely no support on the weekly except for 3,000, which is right here. So Ethereum could actually dip more and try to get a bounce off the 9 EMA on the weekly chart. Yeah, not looking good. Also the total crypto market cap, you can see that it hit the pitchfork exactly and rejected. I was not keeping track of this. I thought we were going to hit around 4 trillion market cap, but I was looking at the log scale and yeah, on the normal chart, it hit it exactly. I should have been looking at the normal chart, and you can see it hit it to the exact dollar and rejected. But there's still some hope. If you look at the daily on the total crypto market cap, you can see that we're bouncing off the 50 EMAs. So hopefully that holds that support. And hopefully we don't go down to the 200. We could, but then as you know, it's still strong support either way. So we have two support zones that it's currently holding, and hopefully we hold that. But yeah, that's all I really have for you guys. I'm in a Bitcoin long. I'm up 60% on the day, like I said, at 112K. You could try to long off the weekly 9 EMA if it 112 breaks, which is like a few $100 off. But yeah, keep watching the charts, take profits. And as always, if you guys do want to know about my trading and my signals, join my Discord. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys.